added the poo back in, and I guess they took the physics out of it, because used to you can find poo rolling down hills. That was the easiest way to find it. Go to a hilly area and you'd find the poo rolling down the hills because it had physics, and you could walk over it, and sometimes you could kick it and uproot it and kick it, but you can't do that anymore. And it used to have a hover over. It used to do blue, and I kind of agree that that kind of ruined the immersion. Every time you roll past something, it would light up like, ooh, you can touch this, you know, kind of like a Daisy or one of them type of games where objects that are movable automatically highlight, which is kind of unrealistic. I was like, well, how do you pick it up? Now you pick it up just like a loot, like an animal, which, you know, I'd imagine that took some kind of work, because I remember, if I remember right, it took us like 3-4 months to get poo into the game, and then it took it out. Now it's back, and it's, I would say, better, but the fact that you pick it up the way you do is extremely confusing, because you're taught to pick up items by running around bait clicking it, and poo you have to pick up with a different, you know, flowers I pick up by getting in their vicinity and then right clicking, you know, and just running around and right clicking until I get lucky and pick them up. Poo, I have to do it like I've killed the poo and I'm getting it from a reward card, you know, and it's completely different. It's, you know, I probably ran around, I probably passed up like 20 piles of poo going, how do I get this? You know, I'm running around, I'm right clicking it, I'm left clicking it, I'm doing all kinds of things going, well, it's in the game but it doesn't work. And then I finally figured out you have to click it like that, which is, it's really, really confusing. Why is poo like an animal and then plants is like that? And it's another thing with this, which the cycas tree was always a problem, because the difference between a tree and a plant. Great, it's raining. You know, plants can be picked up, trees have to be chopped. And at what point does it become a tree versus, you know, a plant? And a lot of people, I'm not sure if that's the point of the, when Doc asks for the materials to make the revival shots, he wants you to go get the cycas to teach you that some things are trees and some things are plants, because, you know, most people, I see a lot of people completely not understand the revival shot system just because of this simple fact that this is a tree, this is the smallest tree in the game, and people run past it trying to pick it up like it's a plant, and they just figure, well, it's not harvestable. And that would be it'd be understood if there was nothing in the game. You know, if there was nothing in the game that wasn't harvestable, like all these little plants. I see people all the time, people trying to pick these plants up, but they're non-harvestable. So the logic dictates that there must be other things that are not harvestable. And if you walk up to something and you, like a cycas tree, and you're clicking on it, clicking on it, clicking on it, clicking on it, you just have to assume that it's not harvestable, because there is other non-harvestable things in the game. And you know, that's it's unfortunate that that it seems like the makers of the game, the people making the game, have lost. They obviously do not play the game anymore. They just, like, hey, we want this feature code to make it work. Test that one feature to make sure it works. They obviously don't play the game and go, oh, this is terrible. This has no purpose. This makes no sense. I think they've lost touch with reality that, you know, this used to work, but it doesn't work anymore. Put it on the list of things to make work again, because, you know, now everything's just getting so complicated to use that, to be honest, I think if I picked this game up today, I would be much more impressed with the visuals and the actual, because originally when I got the game, I looked at the video of it on YouTube, the earlier versions, and I'm like, yeah, the visuals, the scenery's kind of pretty. The characters don't look great. Some of the animals are not superbly modeled. But what got me was all the things you could do in the game. And then now the visuals are better, but the usability of the game is horrible. It's just, I hope we're just in a placeholder. We're just in a, you know, all these inconveniences because of things that are coming later. But as far as right now, did they even come back? Because Gertie's not in the thing. I don't even know where everybody's at. Wow. Okay. Well, I guess Doc and Gertie have disappeared off the map. I don't see them anywhere. I mean, the game at this point, I mean, I know almost every trick to babysit your NPCs, to, if something disappears, just exit and reload and do this and do this and do this, and, you know, for, I don't even remember how many versions of the game I played, but, you know, say 20 versions of the game, I put up with it, thinking that one day we'd eventually get rid of it and not have to do this, but for some reason, like, they just chill. We're just gonna come back over here. They literally just stopped. Oh great, Gertie's broken. Okay, Gertie. Can I still integrate with her? Yeah, I can. I can use her shop. So I guess she just stands there forever. I mean, that's the state of the game right now. There is no game. It's just a bunch of broken features that nothing works. I mean, the slightest thing breaks it. Which is funny is me sleeping to get rid of the rain and the night broke it, which is how I fixed it earlier in the cave. I did it 3 times. I did the big insect queen, which is ridiculous. There's nothing to it anymore, because the combat system's completely broke. The projectile system's broke. Hopefully Gertie will just warp, and that's just her character stuck in memory. But it's not that. There's the fact that Chin, first of all, he got lost on the way to the cave twice. I had to go back and find him. I had to reload once because he just warped out of existence. Once he went into the water and just refused to get out, and then you know, I sat around looking at him, trying to maybe guide him back to the other side where he got into the water. you know, go different places to try to get him to go different places. See, I gave up on that flower because 10 clicks and I'm like, I'm done with that thing. And then all of a sudden he just completely warps out of existence. He just disappears. So I had to load the game to a save, and it's the game. Okay, good. She fixed herself. That was a new one. I haven't seen that one yet, where Dirty just gets left behind, or Doc just doesn't come with you. I mean, they should come with you and stay with you. If you stay still, they should stay still. But for some reason, they never came with me. Or maybe when I woke up, they just never reattached to me. They don't follow. So, yeah, that's kind of broken. And Chin just never... He warped out of existence. I went into a new... I went back to before I left the Martian camp, and before we went there, and I got him, you know, back because the game says has him at the Martian camp, and I took him all the way through. I said, let me see if he hangs up at the water, because then I could report it, you know, and go through the water, no problem. Get on the other side, he takes forever to climb the other side of the bank. Then he gets stuck behind a tree. Get him out from behind a tree. I keep going. He gets stuck behind another tree. I can't get him unstuck from the tree. I cut the tree down, you know, and then it took forever to get him to the cave. Then when I got him to the cave, he just warps out of existence again. He just disappears. I reload the game 2 or 3 times. I check all the areas where he warped out. I ended up having to reload to save again and lose all my prep. I spent 2 days, not in-game days, 2 actual of me game days of my free time where I'm like, let me play Planet Explorers and see what's up with it, of Planet, just to get Nan from the Martian camp to the cave for his mission. And then when I got him there, I basically couldn't get him to do anything. He would just stand at the opening of the cave. He wouldn't address me. He wouldn't do anything. He wouldn't, you know. So I said, well, let me go in the cave and let me reload it, and maybe he'll warp in there. And he did. I reloaded the game. I went into the cave. I saved. I loaded the game. Boom. He went from the mouth of the cave to inside the cave. Would not. He just walked in circles. Matter of fact, he'd walk to a wall and then look like he's trying to figure out how to get out of the wall, which he wasn't. He wasn't like it. He literally went out of his way to walk toward the wall.
Have at it as promised. And
then he would spend like 10 minutes trying to basically turn around. I find that amazing. That is that hard to code, that if a character's like coordinates here do not move and they're trying to move forward, they can't turn around? Does characters not have access to... I mean, if your characters were being controlled through a AI system, do they not have their own WASD key? And if they do, NPCs must not have an S because they don't know how to turn around. They literally walk to something and get stuck. And they just continue to keep walking straight. And there's no S key. Just get off of it. Turn around. Try something different. I mean, basically, by definition, all the NPCs are insane. They walk into stuff and keep walking forward expecting to get off of it. They never try nothing different. They never try nothing new. They just walk into something, get stuck, and then stay there. And then the new thing is now,
several other lifeboats
after a certain amount of time, they just warp out of existence. And then your whole quest is messed up. Did I buy that already? I don't remember. Yeah, I did. So I'm kind of really, really concerned that We're adding features, but what are they for? Who are they for?
I'm not sure.